Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vietnam. I'm just kidding. But today, so I wanted to talk to you about the narcissist and a couple of things. One was, I have learned, throughout the years of doing what I do. I'm not going to tell you what I do, but some of you guys kind of know. But anyway, that there are a lot of psychotherapists and stuff that end up going into the business of doing therapy work, but they are also narcissists. And I bring this up because I know a few that have went down this road and this route. And I've also known a couple of people that were crazy enough to be diagnosed with something, and they went into it as well. So my point here is when you hear on the news sometimes where you hear like a therapist had slept with their patient or their client or whatever, think about it. I mean, where would a narcissist go for the perfect opportunity to get supply? It would be, and possibly primary source supply, right? It would be to be a therapist. Not to mention, if you're already down and out, you're searching for some help, man, these individuals have the ability to almost, while you're down, spell you. But a lot of times what you'll find is it seems like these therapists happen to be pretty crazy people, man. And when you look at if you were a narcissist, where the hell would you go? Or what would you go as your career? Your career would be focused. If you're a narcissist, your career would be focused on supply. It would be supply, meaning trying to get a job. If you had the ability to try to get a career where you could make a lot of money, and or have a lot of power, and or get supply through the breakdown of empaths. I mean, through that avenue. And in this situation, it almost sounds like you could be a communal narcissist at the same time, because you if you're a narcissist, you'd be telling them like how you're helping the world. But in fact, you're abusing your patients. And that's why a lot of empaths and stuff have a hard time going to these therapists, because they feel like that it doesn't ever work out in their favor, where you find the narcissist gets them won over, that they're the one that is perfect and you have all the problems. They switch the table on you. It's just something I wanted to throw out there, because also, if you were somebody with a psychological or a personality disorder and you wanted to learn more about it, right, you'd go into that. You might go down that road. I mean, I think that if I had an issue with something like that, I would go down that road, probably in a venture to try to fix it. But we all know this thing can't be fixed. So, I mean, generally speaking, maybe some of them do get some help, but I don't know. I mean, I just think that you should be careful when you go see a therapist. Make sure that your intuition will tell you everything. So that's the thing. Once you hone your intuition, it should tell you everything. A lot of times, if you're getting the wrong people talking to you online and stuff, or in person, it can really mess you up, especially if you haven't honed your intuition. So be careful with that. Not to put fear in you, but like I said, you want to stay vigilant in all ways. Anytime you get information, or anytime that you get advice, especially when you're talking about anything big like a relationship, or a way to go in your future. But generally speaking, when we wake up to narcissism, we hone our intuition. I mean, I would imagine, right? I mean, I did. Mine got on point, but it does seem like people stay into these relationships, a little bit. They can, they wake up and then continue to go back and get beat up some more. So I just feel like you're doing yourself a huge injustice when you wake up to narcissism, which is a gift from God, man. When you wake up to narcissism, it was for me. Maybe some of y'all woke up to narcissism much easier, but for me, I just never thought somebody would operate in that fashion. I knew that they were operating incorrectly and things didn't make sense, but I didn't have some sort of diagnosis to put with it, you know. But when it comes to narcissism, it's almost like some sort of hidden diagnoses and something that a lot of people don't choose not to talk about, you know. So it's like a conspiracy all in itself, really. I mean, once you wake up to it, and when you do wake up to it and realize, for most of us, we've seen faces and things that, and the epitome of evil. It's almost like if a devil wanted to come to you, man, they have to fake it. That's why they have to fake it in this love bomb phase, because if the devil tried to come to you, or these individuals that are, they sure act like demons, you know. I mean, I'm not going to call them that. If you don't want to call them that, it's fine, but they sure act like that, okay? Once they get a hold of you, like we call it, the hijacking of your emotional field, right? It's like they have a way of taking you apart piece by piece. Whatever you have built over the last 30, 40 years, man, they have a way of disassembling it all. And if you stay unawoke, a lot of times you'll stick it out with them much longer than, and keep going back to them, if you don't have the understanding of the way that they think and operate and act. But the thing is an interesting piece to all this is you can meet people from all different races, creeds, and nationalities, all different religions, okay? And this thing is the same. You know, it's not partial to anybody, to any culture, to any creed, to any religion. It's not partial to any geographical area, whether it be somewhere way out west or way out east, somewhere on an island, somewhere, you know, where there's very few people. You'll find the same creature operating the same exact way as yours does in the big city or something. And so you have to question, you know, it's a different influence, you know, from one place to another, but they all seem to share the same ideas, the same thought pattern, and, you know, almost like out of a book chronologically, and nobody taught them a class. Nobody gave them their degree in narcissism, right? And it's an interesting topic altogether. And when you look at it from a spiritual standpoint, based on just the ethics that they are missing, it's top to bottom across the board. It's exactly the ethics and the morals of the enemy, and that's spoken of in the Bible. You can call him Lucifer, Satan, the evil one, the enemy, the angel of death, Belial, I mean, whatever you want to call him, Azazel, I mean, Diablo, I mean, it is him. And it talks about him wearing a mask, masquerading. And what do these individuals do? They wear a mask, they masquerade. And he's the #1 fake. And they happen to be fake. He's a lie, they're a lie. They're malignant, malevolent, so are they. They are nothing but the epitome of evil, so are they. He feels no love, so do they. Your pain is their joy. So is theirs. They come as an angel of light. Most of the time, what you'll find is they have a good facade. I mean, they could be good looking. They could dress nice. They could have nice attire on. They could have the charm, the allure. They could have persuasion. They have the ability to convince you. But they are liars and cheaters, just like their father, you know, the devil. Really. And their scales are never equal. Ever. Ever. Neither is his. They will do anything to devise evil, to take you down. They never side with anybody. They go rogue all the time on anybody. They really only have what they call friends or compadres or cohorts based on whatever is going on in their life at the time, because they have absolutely no there is no loyalty to anybody. It's only their loyalty to the mask, and so is the enemy spoken of in the Bible. It's very interesting. They don't even believe in a religion. All of them, none of them. And if they do, it can't be anything but some sort of spiritual narcissist or communal narcissist that's just doing it to look good because they believe they are God, or at least God's son or God's daughter. I mean, really, let's be honest, right? Let's be real. They hate humanity. So is the enemy. The enemy hates humanity, true humanity. He hates them. They even hate themselves. And so does the enemy. Probably hates himself too. I mean, and they will never probably admit it, and neither will he. Why? Because pride. And what comes before the fall but pride? What made him fall? Pride. Fear and pride, man. They kind of run hand in hand. They put fear in you to drop your vibration so then they can really step on you. If you don't fear the narcissist, then you don't have to worry about them pulling your vibration down. The thing that makes the narcissist work so well on humanity is especially when you're unawoke, they put fear in you. First, they break you down, you know, insidiously and slowly, one brick at a time, one block at a time, one board at a time, one nail at a time. And before you know it, you're a city without walls, y'all. And you're being destroyed utterly. And that's when the fear comes in. The fear doesn't come in right away. It starts out with what seems to be love, you know? And then slowly it turns into you being brought down to a prideful state yourself, an ego state, you know? And then you're cut off from anything spiritual, and then you start to see your finances dwindle, your friends dwindle, your family. You start to become isolated. You start to get sick, and you start to lose your composure. You start to doubt yourself and second guess yourself. And then you get intertwined with finances and children with these individuals, and the next thing you know, you're out of house and home. And you're almost on the street corner yourself. And, you know, it's a shame. And then you end up trying to get help going to a therapist, and God forbid you go to one while you're down and out, and it happens to be a narcissist as well. So anyway, stay vigilant and stand tall and stay up. Love y'all. Peace. We out.